Today we will be going over E-HallPass, our new HallPass system, how to use it and how to get into it, all those sorts of things. This video is divided into two parts. The first part is for both teachers and students, and we will be watching these two instructional videos, and I'll be throwing in some of our school-specific information, and then the rest of them are all specific things for teachers and staff. First, I'll go ahead and show you just how to get there from where you would normally just have a browser open. It will be ehallpass.com/c-login. So if you want to go ahead and go there so you can follow along, depending on what situation you're in right now. Later in the video, or when we watch the video here, you'll see the main screen and then how they do log in with Clever. But basically, since we use Clever to log into this, this is the URL that you're going to want to do. And of course, you can always bookmark that so that you can get to it more easily. And we may even push out a shortcut on your desktop, since we'll be using this a lot. So once you log in with Clever, you should get redirected to this page. Log in with Google just like you would normally. Now mine was already logged in, so I didn't have to type in my credentials, but just remember that for your anything Google related, it'll be the first part of your email address, also with mingoboe.us at the end instead of k12.wv.us. So for instance, that's my normal email is that jariffle@k12.wv.us, but when I log into Clever, I use that address, and it's the same password for both because Clever draws the passwords from the Microsoft Office accounts. So for instance, if you ever change your Google password here at midnight, it will probably revert back to what you have on your Office account. So anyway, this is kind of what it looks like. I have more options over here simply because my account is an admin account, but all the videos we're going to watch you can find under the training tab. There's some things over here. I believe all types of accounts have that, at least for their specific role. But that's how you get in, and then we're going to look at here in a second some videos of how to actually move around in the system and all that.
Welcome to E-HallPass. This video is for all users and user roles in E-HallPass, and it will cover how to access the system, including logging in and logging out. In general, you will go to ehallpass.com/login to access the E-HallPass system. Depending on the technical setup at your school, you may be given different instructions or a different URL to access the system. If you are a manual user, you will enter your school-related email address and password here, and then click.
We're going to go ahead and fast forward past this part. If you do go to the main login page, for us, we will click Login with Clever, and it will take you to that same button that you saw when I did. But if you put a little C right in front of that L right there, it'll take you right to it, and you can bypass this altogether. Let's see.
I'm logging in as a student here, but for all user roles in E-HallPass, once you log in, you will be at your main screen and there will be a menu on the left-hand side. At the very bottom of the screen, there is a logout button. Please keep in mind that once you log in to E-HallPass, it will remain open for 8 hours unless you manually log out of the system. It is recommended that you keep E-HallPass open so that you can monitor your system, the passes, and potential appointments related to E-HallPass. I'm going to log out here.
Okay, so what you were saying about it being open for 8 hours and you should open it at the beginning of the day, that goes for both teachers and students because it'll be quite painful for you if you have to go through all that whole login process every time you either want to request a pass or, especially for teachers, to approve passes and things like that. So you're going to want to open this in a browser and just minimize it or leave it in the morning, and that way you don't have to fool with logging in and logging out and all that sort of thing.
Here. There are some shortcuts. Rather than coming to this login page and clicking on the buttons at the bottom for these alternate types of authentication or login methods, it is possible to go directly to another URL for those. Here's a glance at the URLs related to each login type. You would use the login type.
So again, ours is Clever, so you just put the C in front, and you actually don't have to type in all of this. Generally speaking, when you type into a browser, it'll pick up on that. You just have to type from the E through there.
That your school directs you to use, again, depending on the technical setup and environment at your school. It is possible to type in, for example, this URL where it's e-hallpass.com/G login for Google. So if your school is a Google school and directs you to log into the system with your Google credentials, you can use this URL and it will take you directly to the Google button to log in. Also keep in mind with many of these options that once you log in, or if you are already logged in with that authentication method, such as already logged into your Google account for the day, then when you click on the option for E-HallPass, it will take you right into the system and remember those Google credentials.
And that's true for Clever too. It should remember, like if you're already logged into Clever or you have been on another tab, usually if you even close out, it puts a temporary file in there to remember you, at least for a little bit. And it should take you right past that, and you won't even have to type in your credentials again. Okay, so now the all-important, what do you do with it actually after you get in? So this is going to go over how to request a pass from a teacher, because it just like asking to go somewhere, the student is the one who initiates the pass. Generally speaking, there's also a way for teachers to do that too, like for instance if you don't have your computer with you, which shouldn't really happen, but things happen, and they can make the pass for you. But like 99% of the time it's going to be the student making the pass, and it will pop up on the teacher's dashboard, and then they approve it, and then they end the pass after you come back.
Welcome to E-HallPass. This video is for students and will show them how to create passes and also how to favorite locations within E-HallPass. So I'm logged in as a student and I'm currently on the Create Pass screen. The first thing we will walk through is how a student creates a pass. Please note students have the ability to set up favorites for destinations they are leaving from and going to, which we will review momentarily. As a student, the first thing I need to do is choose which location I am leaving from. In the Where Are You section, I can click in the drop-down menu and then scroll or type in the box to find the teacher or location's name where I currently am. Next, I need to choose the location.
Really quickly, if you don't see the teacher's name pop up, it's most likely, at least as far as I know at this point, because the teacher has not gone into their account and done the setup, which I'm going to go over with the teachers right after this, and they're part of the video. But if you don't see that name pop up there, that means the teacher needs to finish setting up their account by providing a PIN number and all that sort of thing, and then their name should pop up as far as I know.
I am going to. The locations that you have access to will be available in the drop-down menu in the Where Do You Want to Go section. Simply click in the drop-down menu and then scroll or type in the box to find the teacher or location where you would like to go. Please note there may be limits or reasons that you may not be able to create a pass at a certain time. Please follow the messages that appear on your screen. Finally, some destinations may require that you have a reason for the pass. If this is the case, you will need to type your reason for the pass in the comment box before clicking Submit. The pass cannot be submitted until there is a reason in the comment box. If after you choose your destination you do not see a comment box, then that means the destination does not require a reason for the pass. After you've chosen the location you're leaving from, chosen the location you're going to, and, if needed, typed in a reason for the pass, you can click Create Pass at the bottom of the screen. However, before I click Create Pass, I do want to circle back to the top of the screen and explain location favorites. Students have the ability to choose favorites for both destinations where they are leaving from and going to, making the creating pass process a bit quicker. As a student, I can think about which destinations I commonly leave from, and under the Where Are You portion of the screen, I can click one of the star icons. Once I click the icon, I can either search through the locations list or simply type in the search box to find a location. I then select the location and then click the blue Select button. You will now see this location appears, so whenever I am leaving Miss Habib's class, I can simply click on her name. Choosing favorites for common destinations you go to is fairly similar. In the Where Do You Want to Go section, you can think of some destinations you commonly go to and then add them as favorites. Please note that you may see some destinations already on your favorites bar. These destinations were added by administrators. For you to choose your own favorites, simply click the gray arrow to scroll over to the empty icons. You can scroll down to find your favorites or type in the search box. Once you find your destinations, select the destination and then click the blue Select button. Please note that the favorites you select will appear first in your list of favorites before the administration selected favorites. If at any time you want to change the order of your favorited locations or delete them, you can click the edit buttons on the right-hand side. You can drag a location to change order or click the red delete button to delete the favorite. So let's quickly go through the process of creating a pass so we can see what happens once you click Create Pass. I'll choose the teacher I'm coming from, I'll choose the teacher I'm going to, and then you'll see that this destination requires a reason for the pass. So I'll put a reason in the comment box and click Create Pass. Once you click Create Pass, you will see your pass in red, which means it's awaiting approval from the teacher or location you've chosen for your From teacher. The teacher has the ability to either approve the pass from their device or, if they're closer to your device, they can click inside the white box where their name is, put their PIN number in, and a note if they wish.
And this is why the teachers need to finish setting up their account before it comes in. If you're, say, across the room from your desktop computer or your laptop on your desk where you have that, and someone asks to go to the bathroom, creates the pass, or they should create the pass first and then say, hey, I just put a pass to go to the bathroom. And if you approve it, then just type in your PIN number and hit approve, and you're good to go on the actual student device. Now, it's important to note that the student does not need to take their laptop with them anywhere, because even if you're going to, say, Mr. Sean Goff's room, this shows up on Mr. Sean Goff's computer, so he can then, say when you got there and all of that sort of thing. So you don't actually have to take your laptop with you, to the bathroom or to the office or anything like that.
And click Approve. Once they click Approve, your pass is turned green and the timer has started, which means it is an active pass. Once you arrive at your destination, that teacher can pin you in from either their device or your device. In this case, we'll say you are staying with this teacher for the rest of the period, so they'll click End and Keep, put their pin in, and if they wish to, add a comment to the pass.
So for teachers, if you don't, this ends the pass completely, like you're going to stay there for a while. If you just click Arrived, then it will like kind of pause the pass, if you will, and then you can click it again to say, hey, they're leaving and coming back to you. And then later on, as we'll see with the teachers, if you're just coming to drop off something quickly, you hit the in out, and it's kind of like it says, hey, you got there. Oh, and it starts the timer again immediately. So it means you're not staying for any length of time whatsoever.
As a student, creating a pass is fairly simple, especially if you add your destination favorites. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video was helpful for you.
Okay, so that concludes everything that I can think of at the moment. Appointments are, it's kind of like asking for an appointment to say, see a counselor or the school therapist or anything like, or the nurse even maybe. I'm not sure how that will work. It probably the nurse is more of uh, an acute thing. If you're feeling bad right then, you'll just request a pass. But for if you have an appointment with the counselor, say tomorrow or something, it's almost like a pass that's scheduled in the future, so you can go there and see those. And really, other than that, there's not really too much to it. Other than that, teachers have a few more things on their end, and the admin accounts have more control over these kind of global things. But other than that, you should be good to go. It's important to note if you have the problem where nothing Google works, which again, since this is going through Clever, if your laptop is having the Google problem where anytime you try to search anything, it goes to can't find that page. You'll have to do the fixes. I sent you an email a while back talking about Google/Bing fixes. So make sure you do all three of those and then do a restart, and that should get you for at least the rest of the day. We're currently working on finding out why that is the case and maybe being able to fix that for everyone. And I've reached out to some other people in other counties, but for right now, that's the best we can do. All right, and if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, jariffle@k12.wv.us, or stop by in the Media Center and talk to me. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Now, the rest of this video, if you're still watching, is for the teachers, okay? So you've got more stuff on your end to deal with. So we're going to talk about setting up your profile, which I alluded to earlier, which is very important as we're starting this off, that you finish this one vital step here. Otherwise, your students won't be able to request a pass from you.
Welcome to E-HallPass. This video is for teachers, administrators, and staff. It will review how to update your profile and how administrators and staff personnel should associate themselves with the location in which they will work in the building. On the top left corner of the E-HallPass screen, right below your name, is the My Profile option. When you click, your profile options will open. The first thing that teachers, administrators, and staff will have the ability to choose is a profile picture. Below the picture template is the Choose File option, where you will be able to choose a file to upload into the system. Please refer to internal instructions as to what the expectations are for your school. As we continue down the profile settings, the next option is to choose a title. You can select the title that students use to address you from the drop-down box. Next, your first name and last name will default to the user account that has already been set up for you. Likewise, because your user account has already been set up, you will not see the new password field. Next, you have the option to choose whether or not you would like students to create passes to or from you. This always defaults to yes. If you were to choose no, then students would not be able to find you within the E-HallPass system.
And you definitely want to have it on yes in order for the system to work as intended, because if you don't, then every time a kid has to go to the bathroom, you will have to go into your system and create what's called a Proxy Pass, which we'll go over later, and do it for them essentially. So you definitely want to have yes, and you want to have a PIN number, which can be letters and things, just no spaces.
Finally, you can set up your custom PIN. The guidelines are below. Your PIN is unique to you, and if you happen to choose a PIN that someone else already has, you will be prompted to change it. If you ever need to change your PIN, you can do that at any point in time by simply going back into your profile settings and changing your PIN. Once you are satisfied with the information you've entered, you can click Save Profile at the bottom. You will get a Profile Updated Successfully message in green at the top of the screen. So far, we've been updating profile settings within a teacher account. Now, we are going to go look at a profile settings for staff and administrators. Now we're in the system with a staff user account. If we were in the system with an administrator account, you would have the same options that are being shown now. Staff and administrators may work in specific locations within the school. When students
and this will be important for counselors. I think everyone else principal and assistant principal, and I can't really, and nurses, they will all need to do this part.
Up their pass, they may choose to go to a location such as the library, guidance office, nurse, places like that. You may want multiple people that work in those locations to see all the passes coming in to a certain location. To associate yourself with a location, look on the right-hand side of the profile settings. Staff members and administrators should select and add the locations in which they work. You simply choose your location from a pre-built list in the drop-down box. If you work in more than one location, select More Locations option to add multiple locations. If you need to remove a location, you can simply click the minus sign on the right-hand side. There is another feature called the Student Check-in PIN. If that is something your location chooses to use, you would set that up and coordinate with those in that location. You can see more information about Student Check-in PINs by watching the Student Check-in PIN video. Please be sure, as administrators and staff personnel, to associate yourself with locations in which you work, so you can see any passes coming in or leaving those locations. Teachers do not associate themselves with a location because when a student makes a pass to a teacher, the student would simply just choose the teacher's name. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video was helpful for you.
Okay, so that's setting up your profile. Very, very important, and to make sure that your name pops up for the students to be able to request the pass from you. Now here is a little bit of how to work with the passes once the once a student requests a pass.
Welcome to E-HallPass. In this short video, we'll show administrators, staff members, and teachers various options they have when approving a layover pass. We're logged in on the student's device. The student is going to create a layover pass from Ms. Doolittle's classroom to the counseling department. A reason is required for creating this pass. So we're going to type in Meet with Counselor and click Create Pass. A red Awaiting Approval pass will appear on the student's device. To approve this pass, Ms. Doolittle is going to click in the white area and enter in her 4 to 6 digit PIN.
Or if Ms. Doolittle's sitting at her desk, she can just do it on her computer because on her dashboard it will pop up in red and she can do it from there. So don't think that you have to go to the student device. This is just if you're near the student device and it's showing it from their perspective.
And then click on the green Approve button. This will create a green pass showing that the student has been approved to leave class. A timer will start, and the time that the student's pass was approved will be recorded on the pass. When the student arrives in the counseling department, the counselor will click in the white area and enter in their 4 to 6 digit PIN. There are a couple of pinning options I'd like to go over with you at this time. We have arrived, if the student is going to stay in the counselor's office for a few minutes, and then on the next pinning option, we'll be able to return that student back to class. We have in and out if the student is going to drop off an item such as a schedule change, and that will record the in and out time as the exact same time. We have end and keep if the student is going to stay in the counseling department for the rest of the period. We do have the note section here, so we could record a note letting the teacher know that the student is going to stay with us for the rest of the period. These are the exact same pinning options that you see on the teacher's dashboard. I'm going to choose Arrived for this demonstration.
So in this case, like at our school, since the student will not take their laptop with them, generally speaking, then the counselor wouldn't usually deal with this part. They would deal with it on their device that she just showed. So like on the counselor's dashboard, it'll show like that, and then she can operate it from there once the student gets there.
I'm going to choose Arrived for this demonstration. The time that the student arrived in the counseling office is recorded on the student's pass. When the student is ready to return back to class, the counselor is going to click in the white area, and they're going to enter in their 4 to 6 digit PIN again. They can enter in a note if they need to, and then we have the pinning options returning for returning back to class, or end if we're going to keep the student for the rest of the period. I'm going to click return, and the time that I'm returning that student back to class is recorded on the student's device. When the student arrives back to class, Miss Doolittle is just going to click in the white area, enter in her 4 to 6 digit PIN, and click End to end the pass. This video has shown you the different pinning options available on a layover pass.
Okay, so as you can see, it's not too hard at all to deal with approving passes and things like that. You don't really have a whole lot of options, so you're either keeping the student, or they're leaving right then, or they're going to stay for a while and then go back. You don't really have any other options than that. But remember that you can deal with it on your computer or their computer depending on the situation. Now here is, if in case say somebody doesn't have their computer and there's some kind of thing where you need to create the pass for the student. That's what the Proxy Pass is called.
Welcome to E-HallPass. This video is for teachers, staff, and admin users of E-HallPass, explaining how to use the Proxy Pass. The Proxy Pass is a teacher-created pass. Most of the time, students will create their own passes on either their device or a kiosk, depending on how your school is set up. There are times when you, as the teacher, will need to create a pass for a student. To do this, go to Proxy Pass under Main Navigation on the left-hand side of your screen. I will start by showing you a simple Proxy Pass. Begin by selecting the student, either through the drop-down or by beginning to type the student's name. Please note that Proxy Passes do not count toward the student pass limit if one is set.
So there is possibly that we can set a student limit. I'm not sure what the policy is going to be on that yet, but that may be a thing. But Proxy Passes do not count toward that limit. So if they have 3 passes for that day and they've used all 3 of them, you can still do a Proxy Pass. Or if they've used 2 of them and you do a Proxy Pass, they will still have 1 left.
Then select where the student is going. The reason for the pass is optional. At the bottom, there is a box marked Auto Approve. If you deselect the Auto Approve, the pass will appear white on your dashboard and you will still need to approve it. Since you are taking the trouble to create the pass for the student, Auto Approve is the default setting. When you click Submit below, it will auto approve the pass and it will appear as a green active pass on your dashboard. Now I will show you a Proxy Pass that has some more information on it. I am selecting the student, and as soon as I do, some important information comes up. I've created this scenario so I can show you several of the alerts you may see on the Proxy Pass. All of these alerts may not necessarily show up at once. It is up to you as the teacher to take the information provided and determine if it is still important or safe for you to send the student into the hallway. Let's begin with the alert at the top. The hall is currently busy for the student. Please see your building admin for any questions. This means that the administration has set up a restriction that keeps this student and another student from being out in the hallway at the.
And a similar message for this, or if you don't have any passes left, for the student, if they try to create a pass, asking you, there are certain things that can block them from creating passes, or it'll say, no, not right now, try again later. That way you don't even have to deal with it at all. That way they'll know that they can't go right then. That way that won't get to you in the first place. So, but this is, again, from your point of view, it'll show you all of these, and I think you still can approve it. It just pops up these alerts so that you know what's going on.
The same time. If you have any questions on this, please discuss it with your administrators. Next, you can see the total number of passes the student has had today. The alert to the right shows how many student-created passes the student has remaining. If it is 0, they are not allowed to create any more passes for themselves. Finally, I'm going to send this student to the gym, and you can see another alert pops up. This is a location restriction. The student is not allowed to go to this location. Again, talk to your administrators as to the particulars for this student. Each of these alerts allows you as the teacher to make an informed decision as to whether the student should be granted the pass. In spite of all these alerts, you can still send the student out into the hallway. Please make this choice wisely. If the student is out of passes, maybe they don't get to just run to their locker. If the student is sick, then they need to go to the nurse, and so on. Take this information and make the best decision. To return to your dashboard from this screen, simply click on the dashboard under Main Navigation. I hope you find this video helpful. Please see your school administrator for more information.
All right, and now we're going on to the E-HallPass. So this is similar to if you were doing paper pencil, of having a clipboard on the wall, and if somebody needs to go to the bathroom, it's kind of one person going at a time, and you sign yourself out type of deal. But electronically, of course, and it will also still keep track of the restroom limits and location limits and things like that, so that we can't if 5 or 6 students from other teachers are out and about and going to the same location, like say the bathroom, and it reaches the limit, which I believe is 3 currently, then it will deny the 4th pass. So even with E-HallPass, it will keep track of all of that, I believe, and that way you don't have to check about how many people are in that current location and all that. It will do that for you.
This video is going to show you how to use E-HallPass. On your dashboard, you're going to click the blue E-HallPass button. This is going to give you 2 areas to enter locations, either student start and stop for passes, or just a student start. You also are given the option of choosing a limit. This is the number of students that you are comfortable with being out on a pass at one time. You have limits 1 through 20.
Now, this is not the limit of the location, like say the bathroom. This is your personal classroom limit of how many people can be out at a time. So if you only want one person out at a time on an E-HallPass type this to go to the bathroom, it will be 1, and that way no one will be able to request a pass until that person gets back. And the way she has it set up here, students can start and stop, so they also log when they got back. Essentially, they click, "Hey, I'm back," and you don't have to fool with that. But of course, it could also lead to some deception on their part. So it kind of depends if it's a rudimentary, kind of going to something you go to all the time. maybe you do that, but generally not on most things. You wouldn't do start and stop. In this case, they can only start it, and the teacher has to either enter the pin or click end rather on their computer when they get back. So the students can go to their lockers and come back and log that they went and came back. But in this person's scenario, they can only, if they want to go to the restroom, they can start a pass, assuming that the limit has not been met and that the location limit has not been met, which you won't see. But when they get back, the teacher has to stop the pass.
No limit, which is unlimited, or turn off. Right now we're going to choose 2 for the limit, the number of students that are allowed out at one time on an auto pass from this teacher. We're going to go to the student device and show you what it looks like for each of these passes. The student will choose the teacher, teacher 10, and the first location they're going to choose is locker, which is the student start and stop auto pass location. When they click create pass, they're going to have a start button. They can initiate their own pass beginning. They're able to go to their locker, and when they come back into the classroom, there is a stop button so they can end their own pass. Next, we're going to show what it looks like for a student to choose only the student start location. So again, they're going to choose, where are you? I'm with teacher 10. I want to go to the location of the restroom. When they click create pass, they have a start button to start their pass. They're able to go to the restroom, but when they come back, you'll see there is not a stop button. The pass needs to either be ended by a teacher on the teacher's dashboard or on the student's device by clicking in the white area and adding the teacher's PIN. We're going to go to the teacher's include ended passes and show you the difference between these 2 passes. You'll see the locker location has auto pass both for time out and for time in, but the restroom only shows auto pass for time out because it was started by the student, and the pass ended with the teacher's PIN. Next, we're going to show you what the turn off feature does. You can leave your rooms where they are. Under limit, you can click turn off and click save. Then from the student's device, you'll see that when they choose teacher 10 and locker, when they click create pass, there is no longer a start button. This is not an auto pass because the teacher has set the limit to turn off. Same with...
So turn off does not mean you're turning off the limit. You would select no limit for that. Turn off means that you're turning off the auto pass feature on that particular, on those ones, so that it would be just like normal. They request a pass and you have to approve and start it and stop it.
The restroom, when the student writes a pass from teacher 10 to the restroom, clicks create pass, there is no start button. Both of these locations need to be approved by a teacher. At any time, a teacher can go into their auto pass and choose to make changes, either by adding or removing rooms, changing the limit, and then simply clicking save, and that is how their system will be set up. Anytime a teacher would like to, they can go to their auto pass button and remove a room by clicking the X to the left of the room name, or they can add rooms by clicking anywhere in the white box, choosing that room, and then clicking save.
Okay, so AutoPass is a room and teacher specific decision. Again, that's how many students can be out at a time, or you, like I said, you may want to turn off the AutoPass feature completely. That way you always have to approve them going out and coming back in. Now the appointments are the last thing we're going to go over. This was if you, it's kind of like scheduling a pass for the future. Like if you know that Johnny has to go to the counselor tomorrow, and you approve that in, or put that in, or maybe the counselor will put that in, either one, but it'll still show up on your dashboard. That way everyone will know, or we will know, the people involved, that they have an appointment coming up.
Welcome to E-HallPass. We're logged in as a teacher, and in this video we're just going to do a short overview of Appointment Pass. Remember, Appointment Passes are great for one-on-one conferencing needs and to schedule those makeup tests with students. So to schedule an Appointment Pass with a student, you're going to go over to the left-hand menu bar, find Appointment Pass, and click on it, and it will take you to the Appointment Pass screen. Here, you'll notice you can see all appointment passes, not only for today, but you'll also see today's appointments that are in yellow, the future appointments that are in white, missed appointments that will show up in blue, activated appointments, and then any canceled appointments that are in red. Okay? And then to create an appointment pass for your student, you're just going to go over to the green Create button and click there. You're going to select the student that you'd like to create a pass for. So we're going to create a pass for student 1. Then you choose the date that you would like to see that student. We're going to see him today, and then the period that you'd like to see the student, and then the time. So let's see the student at 11:25. Do not forget to put in the teacher that you're pulling that student from. So we're going to pull this student from teacher 3. And we're going to have the student make up a test.
Now, if you don't put the teacher 3 that you're pulling them from, then it won't pull up. That's important because you want to have it pull up on the right teacher's dashboard so that they'll know that there is an appointment. If you put the wrong teacher in, it'll show up on some other teacher, and they're going to go, I don't have that kid.
And then you click Submit. This not only shows up on the appointment pass area right here, it also shows up on the student's device under their appointment passes, and it will show up on the dashboard, and I'll show you where that is in just a second. You can see there are these thumbs up here. The student receives in-app notifications as well as email reminders that occur 20 minutes prior to the appointment and 5 minutes prior to the appointment. If you make these ahead of time, they will also receive a 7 a.m. email agenda in the morning of, showing them all the appointments that they have for that day. Let's go over to the dashboard so I can show you where all of your appointments are for the day. So if we click on this appointment area that's red, this shows me all the appointments that I'm involved in for just today. Okay, now I'm going to wait a few minutes and show you what happens when that student's appointment gets closer and show you where you see those thumbs up appearing on your screen. Here is what the student's in-app notification will look like, and when they click on this Acknowledge, we will see the thumbs up appear on this teacher's dashboard. Right here we see that 1 thumbs up, and then when we get closer and there's that 5-minute notification, we'll see 2 thumbs up. This student has received their second in-app notification, the 5-minute one, and they have given us a thumbs up. Let's see what's happened on our dashboard. So it has moved from the appointments red area to the dashboard waiting approval from teacher number 3. So teacher number 3 will approve this student to leave the classroom. I'm just going to approve it from our dashboard here. And then the student will arrive in our classroom and will just end and keep just like a normal pass. This was a quick overview of Appointment Pass. We hope you found this training video valuable.
And then there's one more little thing about appointments in case you need to add multiple students to that same appointment. Just a real quick video here.
Welcome to E-HallPass. We're currently logged in as a teacher, and in this video we're going to learn how to create appointment passes for multiple students. Remember, to create an appointment pass, you're going to go over to Appointment Pass on the left menu bar, click Appointment Pass, and then go to the green Create button. And now we're just going to choose the student that we want to create an appointment pass for, the date, pick the period that the student will be leaving, put in the time. So let's say they're going to be leaving at 3:15 for a football game. I'm just going to put football. And then we're going to add more students. As you can see, the information gets pre-populated, and you just hit this plus sign right here to add more students to the appointment pass. And when you're done, you just click submit. That is how you create an appointment pass for multiple students.
Now, of course, you wouldn't actually do that for a football game or at 3:15 because, well, they'd be someone else's problem at that point, the football coach. So anyway, that's all I can think of that you need right off. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, call me, and I will do my best to help you as I am learning more every day as well. And just don't hesitate to get in touch if you need help. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later.